Hank Williams was a puzzle, even in life. His enigmatic nature was evident from a young age, leaving those around him both intrigued and mystified. Born in 1978 on the serene island of Anglesey, Wales, Hank was a quiet child with a formidable intellect. The tranquil surroundings of Anglesey provided a perfect backdrop for his introspective nature. From an early age, he displayed an extraordinary aptitude for mathematics, devouring complex problems with ease. His teachers were often left in awe of his ability to solve intricate equations that baffled even the brightest minds. His academic prowess earned him a place at Bangor University, where he graduated with first-class honours in mathematics at just 17 years old. This remarkable achievement was a testament to his dedication and intellectual capabilities. Williams continued his studies, obtaining a PhD in computer science from the prestigious Cambridge University. His time at Cambridge further honed his skills, and he became known for his groundbreaking work in the field of algorithms and computational theory. His brilliance was undeniable, his mind a labyrinth of algorithms and equations. He had an uncanny ability to see patterns where others saw chaos, making him a natural fit for the world of cryptography and intelligence. The world of cryptography and intelligence, where secrets were hidden in plain sight, was where Hank truly found his calling. His skills were perfectly suited to the challenges of code breaking and signals intelligence. Williams was recruited straight out of Cambridge by GCHQ, the UK's top secret listening post. This was a significant milestone in his career, marking the beginning of his journey into the clandestine world of intelligence. At GCHQ, he thrived in an environment that demanded precision, discretion, and an unparalleled understanding of complex codes. His colleagues often marveled at his ability to decode the most intricate messages with apparent ease. He was a valuable asset, a quiet achiever, content to work in the shadows. Hank's preference for solitude and his intense focus made him ideally suited for the often solitary work of an intelligence analyst. Little did he know his life was about to take a dramatic and ultimately tragic turn. The path ahead was fraught with unforeseen challenges and dangers that would test his resilience and ultimately lead to a mysterious and untimely end. GCHQ, nestled in the quiet town of Cheltenham, became Williams' home. He worked tirelessly, his days consumed by the intricate dance of encryption and decryption. He was part of a team responsible for intercepting and analysing foreign communications, a crucial task in the fight against terrorism and espionage. Williams's colleagues recognised his brilliance. He was a quiet, unassuming presence, but his mind was a whirlwind of activity. He could crack codes that baffled others, finding patterns and solutions that eluded even the most experienced analysts. He was a rising star, destined for great things within the shadowy world of intelligence. Despite his success, Williams remained an enigma. He was intensely private, rarely discussing his work or personal life. He lived alone, preferring the company of his computer to social gatherings. He seemed content with his solitary existence, his mind a world unto itself. But beneath the surface, a sense of restlessness began to stir. In 2009, after years of dedicated service at GCHQ, Williams was seconded to MI6, the UK's secret intelligence service. This move was not just a change of workplace, it was a leap into a world that was far more complex and demanding. He was tasked with working on a highly sensitive project, rumoured to involve cybersecurity and counter-terrorism operations. The nature of his work was shrouded in secrecy, and the stakes were higher than ever before. Every keystroke, every decision could have far-reaching consequences. The move to London, to the heart of espionage, would prove to be a turning point in his life. The city, with its iconic landmarks and bustling streets, was a stark contrast to the more serene environment he was used to. London was a city that never slept, and neither did the world of espionage. Williams found the transition difficult. The fast-paced, high-pressure environment of MI6 was a world away from the more collaborative and supportive atmosphere of GCHQ. GCHQ had been his sanctuary, a place where his intellect was celebrated and his eccentricities tolerated. It was a place where he felt valued and understood, surrounded by colleagues who shared his passion for cryptography and cybersecurity. MI6 was different. It was a world of secrets and shadows, of double lives and dangerous games. The work was thrilling but also perilous, requiring a level of caution and discretion that was both mentally and emotionally exhausting. The pressure was immense, the stakes incredibly high. Every day brought new challenges and new risks. The decisions he made could mean the difference between life and death, success and failure. He missed the camaraderie of his GCHQ colleagues, the familiar routines of his work. The easy banter, the shared jokes, the sense of belonging, all of it was gone. In its place was a sense of isolation and constant vigilance. He felt isolated and out of place in the bustling metropolis of London. The city was full of people, yet he felt alone, a solitary figure navigating a sea of strangers. He struggled to adapt to the demands of his new role, the constant need for secrecy and deception weighing heavily on him. The work was relentless, and the pressure to perform was unyielding. The brilliant mathematician, once so confident and assured, was beginning to unravel. The weight of his responsibilities, the isolation and the constant stress were taking their toll. He was a man caught between two worlds, struggling to find his place in a world of shadows and secrets. The once ordered world of Gareth Williams was falling apart. The structure and routine that had once defined his life were now crumbling, leaving him adrift in a sea of uncertainty and anxiety. The pressures of his work at MI6, combined with his deep-seated need for privacy, were taking their toll. The high-stakes environment, the constant vigilance and the weight of national security on his shoulders were more than he could bear. Each day felt like a battle, and Gareth was losing ground. He became increasingly withdrawn, his social interactions dwindling to almost nothing. Friends and colleagues noticed his absence, but Gareth found solace in solitude. The once vibrant conversations and camaraderie were replaced by silence and isolation. He sought solace in online gaming, spending hours lost in virtual worlds where he could escape the complexities of his real life. In these digital realms, he could be anyone, do anything, and forget the mounting pressures of his reality. The games became his sanctuary, a place where he could momentarily forget his troubles. His flat, a small, nondescript apartment in Pimlico, became his refuge. The cluttered space, filled with remnants of a life once lived with purpose, now served as a fortress against the outside world. Here he could hide from the prying eyes and unspoken questions of those around him. He rarely ventured out, ordering takeout and groceries online. The convenience of modern technology allowed him to maintain his isolation, avoiding the need for any human interaction. The delivery drivers became his only link to the outside world, brief and impersonal exchanges that left him feeling more alone. He seemed to be retreating further into himself, his only contact with the outside world through the flickering screen of his computer. Late nights were spent staring at the monitor, the glow casting shadows on his weary face. The digital world was his escape, but it also became his prison. He was a ghost in his own life, a shadow moving unseen through the crowded streets of London. The bustling city, once a place of opportunity and excitement, now felt like a maze of isolation. He walked among the crowds, yet felt completely alone, disconnected from the world around him. His colleagues noticed the change. Whispers and concerned glances followed him through the office. The once confident and capable analyst was now a figure of worry and speculation. They wondered what had happened to the man they once knew. He became increasingly erratic, his work suffering as a result. The meticulous reports and sharp analyses that had defined his career were now marred by mistakes and oversights. His desk, once a model of organization, was now a chaotic mess of papers and unfinished tasks. He missed deadlines. His reports became disjointed and incomplete. The quality of his work plummeted, and the frustration of his superiors grew. Gareth, once a star performer, was now struggling to keep up with the demands of his role. He was a far cry from the brilliant analyst who had once been the envy of his peers. The pride and confidence that had once radiated from him were now replaced by doubt and insecurity. His fall from grace was as swift as it was heartbreaking. His superiors, concerned about his deteriorating mental state, suggested he take some time off. They hoped that a break would help him regain his footing, that some time away from the pressures of work would allow him to heal. Williams, however, refused to acknowledge that anything was wrong. He dismissed their concerns, insisting that he was fine. The idea of taking time off felt like an admission of failure, something he couldn't accept. He insisted that he was fine, that he just needed to focus on his work. He believed that if he could just push through, everything would return to normal. But the more he tried to convince himself and others, the more hollow his words sounded. But his words rang hollow, his eyes betraying a deep-seated turmoil. The pain and confusion that he tried to hide were evident to those who looked closely. Gareth Williams was a man on the edge, struggling to hold on to the fragments of his once ordered life.